The gym can feel like this place of just endless variety. But all those different workouts you see, they can actually be boiled down to a few core goals. Today, we're going to break down the blueprint for strength training so you can finally understand not just the what, but the why behind every single lift. I mean, you've seen it, right? You got one person over there just grunting, straining, lifting this enormous amount of weight for just a couple of reps. And then nearby, someone else is moving a way lighter weight, but they're doing it over and over and over again. Are they even working towards the same thing? Well, the short answer is no. And the reason why all comes down to one single fundamental principle. And that principle is called specificity. According to the National Strength and Conditioning Association, the NSCA, who are a huge authority in this field, it basically means you train in a specific way to get a specific result. Put simply, your body gets really, really good at what you consistently ask it to do. So if you want a specific outcome, your training has got to be just as specific. Let's look at the four main paths this can take you down. Okay, first up, let's talk about muscular endurance. This one isn't about lifting the heaviest thing you can find. Nope, this is all about how long your muscles can keep going and just resist getting tired. That's the official definition, and it pretty much nails it. Think about a marathon runner's legs or a swimmer's shoulders. They just go and go. But hey, this isn't just for pro athletes. High endurance is what lets you carry all those grocery bags in one trip or play with your kids at the park without getting completely gassed. It's all about sustained performance. So how do you actually train for that? Well, here's the recipe for building that staying power. The load, that's the amount of weight you're lifting, is pretty low, at or below 67% of your 1 rep max. And your 1 rep max, or 1 RM, that's just the absolute most weight you could possibly lift for one single repetition. Because the load is lighter, you can perform a high number of reps, usually 10 or more. And check out the rest time. It's super short, 30 seconds or less. This forces your muscles to get better at recovering quickly and just becoming way more efficient. All right, let's switch gears to our next path, and this is probably the most common goal you see in any commercial gym: hypertrophy. In plain English, this just means training for muscle size. Yep, this is the world of bodybuilding. The main goal here is to literally increase the size of your muscle fibers. The training is specifically designed to create stress and tiny, microscopic damage that signals your body to go, okay, we gotta rebuild these muscles bigger and stronger than they were before. And for a lot of people, this is also a huge key for boosting your metabolism and fighting that muscle loss that comes with age, keeping you strong for years to come. So what's the formula for getting bigger muscles? Well, the load is heavier than it was for endurance, landing right in that 67 to 85% range of your 1 rep max. This is the sweet spot for that 6 to 12 repetition range, which all the research shows is pretty much ideal for maximizing muscle growth. The rest period is also a little longer, anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half. This gives you enough time to recover, but not fully, which is perfect for creating that muscle-building stimulus. Our third path changes the game again. We're shifting the focus from size to just pure, raw, unadulterated force. This is the path of muscular strength. This is all about increasing your absolute strength, answering the question, how much can you possibly lift for a single all-out effort? Think of a powerlifter getting ready for a max squat. The goal isn't just about muscle size, it's about teaching your nervous system to fire on all cylinders and recruit as many muscle fibers as possible to move that heavy weight. Plus, this kind of training is fantastic for building dense, strong bones and making you way more resilient to injury. Okay, let's break down the recipe for strength. The load here is very high. We're talking 85% of your 1 rep max or even heavier. Because that weight is so heavy, you can only perform a low number of reps, 6 or fewer, and get a load of that rest interval, 2 to 5 full minutes. Now that might seem like a lot of time just be standing around, but it is absolutely essential for your nervous system and your energy stores to recover almost completely, so you can give maximum effort on every single set. Now, before we get to our last path, we have to clear something up. People use the words strength and power interchangeably all the time, but in the training world, they are not the same thing, not at all. Strength is about raw force. It answers the question, how much can you lift? Power, on the other hand, adds the crucial element of time. It's about applying that force quickly. So the question becomes, how fast can you lift it? And that difference changes everything. Which brings us perfectly to our fourth and final path, muscular power. This is really the ultimate expression of explosive athleticism. So, power is that dynamic explosion when strength and speed smash together. Think of an Olympic weightlifter throwing a barbell overhead, or a sprinter just exploding out of the blocks. But power is also what allows you to quickly catch yourself if you trip, or to jump out of the way of something. It's about being strong, sure, but more importantly, it's about being able to use that strength very, very quickly. Now, if you just glance at this, the recipe for power looks a lot like the recipe for strength: high load, low reps, long rest periods. But there is one critical, game-changing difference: intent. With power training, every single repetition is performed with the intention of moving that weight as explosively and as fast as humanly possible. That focus on velocity is the secret sauce that separates it from pure strength training. So, we've walked through four very distinct paths, right? We've gone from endurance all the way to explosiveness. Now, let's put it all together into a single, simple blueprint that makes choosing your path a whole lot easier. And here it is. This chart is your master key. It lays out everything we just talked about side by side. As you move down the list from endurance to power, you can see a really clear pattern. The load gets heavier, the number of reps gets lower, and the rest periods generally get longer. Each one of these combinations sends a totally different signal to your body, which triggers a very specific change. This right here is the principle of specificity in action. So the next time you step into the gym, or even just plan your workouts, you have the framework. You understand the why behind the what. Look, this isn't about one method being better than any other. It's about aligning your method with your goal. So the real question isn't just what are you doing, it's what are you truly training to achieve?